What's up? I've got a bonus video right now. I just did one. This is going to be a very short video. This is going to be Canada specific. It's an interesting video. Um, it's going to be based on an article here. Now, it's saying it's provided by news staff. There's no specific author that I can see. I'm not getting a real name here. It's just news staff. It is from today, CHCH. Get off your ASS and start working. That's a quote. Doug Ford's advice to the unhoused. Okay, so get off your ASS and start working. Doug Ford's advice to the unhoused. That's the name of the article. Thanks, news staff, CHCH. What are we talking about here? Well, Ontario Premier Doug Ford has some blunt advice for those living in tent encampments across the province. Because you know that they want to be there, right? Let's see. I just read a comment saying how there are hundreds of them now, hundreds of people on the streets now in, 2024? But in the 70s, you'd only see the odd person here or there. And honestly, most of those people were probably like Vietnam vets in the States. Here in Canada, they were probably just people that were like, I hate to say it, but addicts or a little bit loony. Now in the States, where they had super many vets coming back, they had a lot of that. So the homeless problem in the States has always been like worse than here from what I can understand. But yeah, here in the 70s, you'd barely see anybody on the streets. In the 80s too, was like very rare. Like I saw them. I lived in the city in the 80s, but you'd never see homeless people in any suburbs. Never. Now every suburb has at least one homeless encampment. While holding a media scrum, sounds like a football game. At a construction site in the town of Cobourg, the premier was asked by a reporter what impact his government's $25 million investment plan to build close to 3,000 homes would have on the over 1,000 people who are currently waitlisted for affordable housing in Northumberland County. 1,000 people on a waiting list for affordable housing. Canada, I mean, it's got some pluses. I love this country. I want to be here. That's why I didn't leave. But it's really dropped the ball. But has it dropped the ball? No. The people in charge have dropped the ball, not the average citizens and constituents. People running the show have dropped the ball. If you're healthy, get off your ASS and start working like everyone else. Very simple, he added. Ford also said he's going to challenge a court ruling in Waterloo last year that said homeless people have the right to camp on public land. If they're healthy, they shouldn't be here. They should be out there working and we will find them housing. We're going to challenge that court case because you can't have people setting up encampments in beautiful neighborhoods. They just can't do it. It destroys the neighborhoods. Oh yes, he's totally worried about the constituents' property values like plummeting because there are tents in the park nearby. Like I see them everywhere. It's just unreal. Like I was in a suburb today of Hamilton, up on the mountain in a beautiful suburb. I got into the side street and it was a dead end and I had to turn around, but there was a part where you could see straight through to like a nice park behind a school. And sure enough, off on the side of the field was at least I don't even know how to explain it, but like some sort of setup for one person, it looked like, that was living there. In broad daylight. There weren't even trees covering. It was just like, I'm not criticizing them either. Like, this is just a fact. They had nowhere to go. Ford didn't indicate how he'll find housing for people when rents and home prices are sky high. These people should get a job. They should go apply at any of these companies. Take an application and go get a job. Apparently, he also promised, I didn't hear this was information passed along to me. He also promised that if anybody got injured at these jobs, that they would be taken care of for life. What? I don't know, man. I'm on welfare. What is ODSP, Ontario Disability Support Program? It is a pittance. You can't afford anything. It's even less than minimum wage. So you're going to take care of people when they get hurt working your crap jobs that you want them to work. Makes sense. Yeah. The premier also turned to other issues such as how environmental assessments are delaying construction efforts to build Highway 413. Yeah, let's build the damn highway, he said. There's hundreds of thousands of people stuck in their cars, backed up from here to Timbuktu, and you're worried about a grasshopper jumping across the highway. It's weird. We have all these climate incentives and stuff that the government wants to put in because, you know, green agenda, so forth. And then he acknowledges that there's hundreds of thousands of people stuck in their cars, backed up in traffic because of things like nature, i.e. the grasshopper comment he made. That image of the grasshopper jumping across the highway. I guess nobody's really informed him that we're supposed to be like a green country and we care about that stuff. Not that I'm saying like that's ever been on my dance card when it comes to the politics of this country. I've been concerned about it, but like in this case, I think it's a matter again of money talks and BS walks. And yeah, when asked about the current state of bicycle lanes being put into busy streets, he called them an absolute disaster. Again, bikes, green. This guy just wants to build a highway. This guy likes cars. He's clearly out of touch with the state of like the average person. But what do you expect? What do you expect with like some kind of like, I don't know. I mean, these guys are like modern day oligarchs in some senses too. Like look up his history. Look up Ford's history, his family history. If I'm not mistaken, they were a family of grocers, and I guess like I don't know, not so much grocers alone as also like a grocery distribution. People got to eat. That's a very good business to be in. Notice how people with money are able to be in politics. So what does that mean? That means that people with money call the shots. I mean, I didn't make that up. That's a fact of the matter. People with money are the ones who get to call the shots. Why? Because people with money can afford to run campaigns. Costs a significant chunk of money to run a successful campaign. And by successful, I mean just getting your name out there. I don't even mean like winning any kind of election. I mean just getting your name out there and being known, having a presence would cost a significant amount of money. Money that the average Joe probably doesn't have or have access to. And even if he did, take a mortgage, take a line of credit. Would you really want to like risk all that for these politicians that are already like born into wealth or have wealth somehow, you know, before they start down that path, they've accumulated massive amounts of wealth. The risk factor is so much lower. I'm not saying they're bad people for that. I'm just saying that that's a fact. Now, anyhow, everyone, I do think that this is like, you know, the longest this video needs to be right now. It doesn't need to be any longer. We're going to keep talking about housing affordability internationally, on Canadian soil, in North America on a regular basis. But the fact of the matter is that right now you've got a guy who's making some pretty unrealistic demands of people. Like they're living in tents because they couldn't afford the rent that they were paying before. So what makes you think that they can afford the rent now? What am I missing? Right? What am I missing? There has to be something I'm missing, unless these people running the show are actual total goombas and goons. Anyhow, when I say Goomba, I mean like those mushroom characters in Super Mario. You know, the ones that are like, you literally like jump on them because all they do is walk straight, like doop, 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 like brainless drones that go forward. Peace out.